It is Monday, August 30th, 7:03 a.m. My name's Frankie Olivo, and this is Good Morning Brownsville. Good morning, Joe. How's it going? We'd like to start off today's show recognizing, doing something a little bit different, recognizing our young men and women who recently lost their lives in Afghanistan. We have previously mentioned how we feel that if it is as if our government has failed these young men and women, there was no strategic exit plan in place to secure the safety and well-being of our servicemen and women, of our allies, and the local Afghanis. It's hard, but I would like for our community to recognize these young men and women who died in the line of service. We'll start off with Lance Corporal David Lee Espinosa, Navy Corpsman Max Soviak, Corporal Hunter Lopez, Lance Corporal Kareem Nikau, Lance Corporal Riley McCullum, Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz. Here's another picture of Corporal Hunter Lopez, Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover, Corporal Dagan William Tyler Page, Staff Sergeant Ryan Knaus, Corporal Humberto Sanchez, Sergeant Giovanni Rosario, Sergeant Nicole Gee, Lance Corporal Dylan Merola. Again, tragic events. We would expect that our federal government would do everything possible to make sure that our young men and women came out of there safe and sound. Unfortunately, 13 families received awful news this past week over the loss of their loved ones. There was a suicide bomber that did kill these young men and women. We did see pictures over the weekend of how individuals, whether at Texas Roadhouse, a local bar and grill, they reserved 13 seats in honor of these young men and women. It is sad to see a community mourn the loss this way. But again, it is important for us to do everything possible to make sure that we always remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice. It's sad that our federal government did not do enough for these 13 Marines. And again, we spent 20 years in Afghanistan, and what can we claim that we won? We were sent in that region because of the notion of weapons of mass destruction. We lost 2,500 lives in those 20 years. We gave the Taliban trillions of dollars. We gave them all their equipment. We armed them. So this, in my opinion, is a failed attempt at the United States trying to play peacemaker throughout the world. They decided to try to settle up in the Middle East. And what do we have to show for it? 2,500 lives. Rest in peace, Semper Fi, gone but never forgotten. It really brings this into perspective of life. I would personally like to recognize friends and family that I know that have served or actively are serving in the armed forces. Special shouts out goes to Joe Vasquez, who's currently in the Middle East, Alfredo Hernandez, Victor and Frank Quesada, mis primos Aline y Iván, mi tío Román. Un saludo especial a Mayo y Rolly Solís, Javier Sáenz, Nat Pérez, Vivi Lozano, mi primo Jorge Draustinovis, and more importantly, Eddie Polanco. May God bless their soul, their family. There is no words that we can give to give them peace. That is something only our God and Maker can do. We hope that He gives them the comfort and love that only He can give. Good morning, Manny. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Monday. Nelda, I see you on YouTube. I'm gonna check very quickly. My thousands of followers. It's good to see you on here. God bless and protect the U.S. military. They are simply following orders, and that's the tragic thing. That's the tragic thing in all this, that they our servicemen and women do everything possible to make sure that they live out to the expectations given out by those in command. What bothers me now, more than anything, is that these individuals who spend their lives giving their sacrificing for the military, they spend 20, 30, 40 years strategizing, going up the ranks to hopefully one day, Nelda, to one day be able to give advice to our president, to the department leaders within the CIA, within the federal government. It's sad for them to not really think things through. You would think that when they would withdraw the troops, that they would think about the safety and well-being of our servicemen and women, our allies, of the Afghanis who are having to deal with the Taliban. You would think that these individuals who spent all their lives focusing on this one moment, that they would fumble it. It is pretty sad, in my opinion, that we are still dealing with this. Sorry, but all I can say or think and pray, and the U.S. should bomb the crap out of the country and all of its occupants, period. That's a good point that you make, Steamboat. I did ask fellow veterans who did do some tours in Afghanistan, and that's the same sentiment that I got from them. They're warriors. They're fighters. They stand tall in the line of duty. This is something that is very, very scary, but they ultimately know the sacrifice, but they're willing to do so for their country. And most of them, Steamboat, I would say the majority of them said, let's go fight. This is an embarrassment for the United States. Unfortunately, lives were lost. This is blood on your hands, Biden. Hope you can sleep every night. Solitaire, the president and vice president didn't meet with the 13 families. But what can you say, Solitaire? What can you tell their families? I'm sorry. My mistake. My bad. Safis. 13 families will not be able to hug their loved ones. 13 families, come vacation time, they will be crying. Families were torn apart. And I agree, Solitaire. Blood is in the hands of President Biden and his administration for their lack of detail. And I don't say that so lightly. My friends have said, oh, you're just bashing on Biden. I would have bashed on Obama. I would have bashed on Bush. I would have bashed on Trump. It's not a Democrat or Republic thing. It is an American thing. You would think that our men and women who are in power would think about these young men and women. And the sad thing, Carlos, is that the oldest one was in their early 30s. These 13 lives were young, had promising careers, and for them to be dealt that way is rather sad. Good morning, Joe. How's it going? El Gallo del Joe Valdez. Good morning. Thank you for being on YouTube. There are a few people. I got 4 thumbs up so far. Keep it coming. I appreciate you, El Gallo del Joe. Moving on to local sports. We did have some action this past weekend. Our Lady Pace Vikings, they did compete and win the St. Joe tournament. Special shouts out goes to Coach Venegas on her first year, starting off on a good note. Volleyball season is here. Go out and support our Lady Vikings. Once again, congratulations to Yomeli, if I'm not mistaken. I think she did win MVP honors for the tournament. But special shouts out goes to Coach Venegas in her win. Football. We had the start of football season, and it was a rough week for our Brownsville schools. Brownsville veterans lost 9-34 against Harlingen South. Rivera lost an exciting game, 17-20 in overtime. They ended up losing by a field goal. Pace lost 28-42 to Sherryland, and Brownsville Hannah lost 42-14 against the number 2 ranked team in the Valley. And one thing I do want to state that the first couple weeks, the schools usually go up against obviously non-conference, non-district games. Usually we see the likes of San Antonio, Houston teams. They try to do this to prepare their football team for district play. Even though these were tough losses, they faced great opponents. PSGA North, Mercedes is ranked number 2 in the Valley. They have, I don't know how many returning starters, and Sherryland as well. Harlingen South also got in a new coach. So even though we didn't get a victory, it was good to have this early on. That way we can get ready for district play. We'll be rooting for our boys. We'll be traveling and seeing some games this upcoming year. I did promise Coach Tony Villarreal that I would go to his games, and I will do so. Good morning, Mr. Lerma. How's it going? Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a good Monday. Yes, congratulations to the Lady Vikings and Coach Venegas on their win. Hurricane Ida. We lucked out here in the Rio Grande Valley. We have seen Hurricane Ida make landfall in New Orleans. It was projected to be a Category 5 with winds up to 120 miles an hour. We saw here how it made landfall at 110 miles an hour, which dropped to a Category 2. This brought close to 1 million customers without electricity across Louisiana and the state of Mississippi. We saw how reporters were bravely out there in the weather trying to get us the latest feed on what was out there. But the thing that's impressive to me, and I might get in trouble, but Louisiana, for whatever reason, always seems to get hit. They always seem to be a fishbowl. And we see here comparisons of Hurricane Katrina back in 2005, 16 years ago, which looks very similar to Ida based on this meteorology projection of the eye of the storm. We see here that at the bottom, Ida, which is presently made landfall in Louisiana, New Orleans area, seems to be bigger than Katrina. We have seen the disaster that happened with Katrina, and I've been to New Orleans, and it still doesn't look right. It still doesn't smell right. But just imagine Louisiana getting hit again. I think that it is because of their black magic voodoo back in the day that they are being punished. But again, this is just my opinion. I know my friends say that I'm a little bit crazy, but maybe they can maybe there's some truth to that. Good morning, Marisa. How's it going? Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a good day. Say hello to Louie and your daughter for me. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, Hurricane Frankie. Keep going, my friend. Good morning, Royal. I saw you and Sharky. When was it? Yesterday or Saturday? Saturday. I saw you and Sharky on. I really appreciate you and RGV Central Talk, if I'm not mistaken. Appreciate you, my man. Hope you have a good Monday. How's it going, Raymond? Happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. First week of college at A&M. Hopefully sending her blessings and much luck. I know she'll be fine. Hope you have a good one, my man. Let's meet up soon. It's been a while. Local news. We previously spoke about how our life was turning into the Jetsons, it seems. Can you imagine our new world with flying cars? We already have the watches. Well, now it seems that we will be the Jetsons. Brownsville will be having urban air taxis in 2025. And again, I find this hard to believe at one time because imagine the accidents that they will be having. If we already have accidents here, automobile accidents here in the city of Brownsville, where was it last month that we saw a car crash every other weekend, it seemed, every other couple days. Well, now it seems that air taxi is going to be a reality. We saw how an aerospace developer did relocate to Brownsville, and it's pretty impressive. Again, are we going to be the Jetsons? The city of Brownsville did announce Friday that Paragon, the vertical takeoff and landing company, aerospace company, has committed 50 vertical takeoffs for urban air traffic and movement that will begin in 2025. And when you think about it, according to them, this would reduce the amount of time needed to move within Brownsville and surrounding areas with these taxis, having a total of 9 passengers, 0 carbon, 0 emissions, and maintaining that range and that speed for over 500 miles. The founder of Paragon, Dwight Thanos, the name Thanos is coming with taxis. He said that he stands with the city of Brownsville, its people, and their commitment, the company's commitment to technological evolution of transportation, and he looks forward to continuing this incredible partnership. But can we imagine this, having taxis, air taxis? I spoke about this last week, and I said that there's no way that we will be having traffic through air. Just imagine if we already have chaos on the ground. We can't drive. We're always complaining, ¿dónde agarras tu licencia en Matamoros? Imagine in the air, it's going to cause major chaos. The car accidents, but the taxi accidents in the air, imagine the debris that they're going to leave on properties, the damage that they're going to cause if and when there is an accident. It's exciting. Don't get me wrong. It's exciting. I kind of want to live like the Jetsons. We already have the watch. Elon Musk is bringing out a robot. And now it seems that we're going to have some sort of air taxis coming to the city. I guess it's a good thing for evolution of technology. But can we see ourselves as the Jetsons? And again, this is our new life, ladies and gentlemen. The city of Brownsville is transforming into a technological, innovative city. Brownsville to Mars. We will be the destination, the launching site of rockets in humans' quest for space exploration. It's just going to be a very, very different world in the next 10 to 15 years. Some could say that it's a little bit scary. I'm optimistic. I hope that we do reap the benefits of it. We've already seen Paragon, who did bring their business down here, and everybody's flocking to the city of Brownsville. We spoke on Friday how the British General Council also will be investing their money in the city of Brownsville. So it is very, very promising, very, very promising so far for the city of Brownsville. What goes around comes around. That's the word. That's the word, Royal. That's the word. Voodoo, black magic, punished? No, it's just the way it is. That's just my opinion. Again, my friends say that I'm crazy. Talk Show Central RGV style. There you go. I like the ring to it. Texas has Tornado Alley. Louisiana has Hurricane Crosswalk. Ouch. Brownsville, we will have air taxis in 2025. Matamoros, we will have slightly used air taxis in late 2025 for sale. Sold as is with no serial numbers. Unfortunately, we already know they do have some bikes here in the city of Brownsville. We all know they end up in Matamoros. But I could see that coming around, El Gallo, of having air taxis in Matamoros with no serial numbers. Erasmo Castro is sticking to his tired and true hot air balloons, while Ben Neese will maintain his natural high getting around. You're getting me in trouble, Steamboat. Lunch at San Antonio and a movie in Houston and a late night walk at the shores of Corpus Christi. Just another day in Royal's life. Wow, Royal. Must be nice. I can't even get out of Combs, Texas. Brownsville to Mars. We can barely get to Matamoros safely. Ouch. It is the Wild West. Also, speaking of Papi Musk, it has been stated that Tesla wants to get into the electricity business here in the state of Texas. They did file documents that they want to be retail providers for electricity, and this is very, very important when you look at the big picture, and in the big picture, the big scope of things. We have previously talked about how Elon Musk is on the quest to build an underground tunnel that leads from Boca Chica to South Padre Island. It seems that if he wants Boca Chica Beach for himself, well, now, again, we've all have heard individuals have said that PUB, the rates are crazy. We can all agree to that. There are questions as to the over $40 million of Tenasca money that our customers are still pending word about. Could this be our savior against PUB? We all have heard the complaints. We've all said that they have been monopolized the market here in our city, how our city commissioners have not actively or aggressively have addressed this issue. We want competition. That is something that we can all agree that would be in the best interest for the city of Brownsville. Well, maybe Papi Musk is providing in more ways than one. By having Tesla sell electricity, it is really changing the game. And the interesting part about this is that individuals, whoever has these Tesla cars, would be able to sell their excess amount of energy to customers. So they're putting back money into the pockets of Tesla owners. And again, when you look at the bigger picture, he has SpaceX on Boca Chica. They're in the works of creating an underground tunnel. Whether that gets finished or not, it's a wholly different story. He's relocated engineers, his base from California. The Cybertruck, remember the Cybertruck that everybody is so anxiously awaiting? These will be in production in Austin, Texas. Can you slowly see what Elon Musk is doing? He's converting Texas into the next innovative state, it seems, with all this technology. He has been setting shop in Houston, and the plant is said to be located outside the area of Houston. The interesting part is that it's going to be battery power. And again, remember what happened during the winter storm, of how we felt that our Texas grid failed us. And many individuals say, well, this is the ticket to solar energy. This is the ticket for going green. And maybe this could be a gift in disguise. Papi Musk is providing in more ways than one. So Tesla has announced that they will be creating or wanting to be retail providers in the state of Texas for their for the Texas residents. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive to see this. Now, can we imagine Elon Musk controlling the state of Texas with electricity, with the Tesla cars, which we've already started to see a large increase in them, robots, air taxis? Even though that's not Elon Musk, that's something new. Our world is changing very, very quickly. We got to adapt as much as possible, because if not, technology will run us over. Get Chapo's people to build the tunnel. They are most trustworthy and efficient when it comes to digging away. Ain't that the sad truth? Battery powered. There goes all the batteries at Walmart. Again, they will be creating a plant outside the Houston area to create these batteries. But again, the thing that I like about it is that they are putting the money back into the customer. If you have excess amount of, I don't even know what it is. It's not kilowatts. Is it kilowatts? I guess that's electricity, right? If you have excess amount of electricity, you're able to sell it out in the market, which is pretty cool. Good morning, Miss Munoz. How's it going? Hope you have a good day. Much love to the family. The future is coming quickly. Get ready for the opportunities. Start planning now. There will be various money-making adventures, and that is correct. I do apologize. Royal is absolutely correct. We are on the brink of a technological boom, and it all started with SpaceX here in our local area. Now for our story of the day, our featured story. What if I told you that getting contracts in the city of Brownsville and getting contracts in Cameron County was not so hard? Well, of course, we needed to have somebody on the inside to help us out with that one. But is it possible? Anything is possible in Cameron County. We have gotten word that there is some interesting things going on in Cameron County, Texas. Pete Sepulveda, he currently is the executive director for the Cameron County Regional Mobility Authority. He also serves as the Cameron County administrator. So he serves two roles, and he gets a very handsome paycheck for this. Well, what if I told you that this man yields a lot of power that has generated money, millions of dollars, that has benefited a Cameron County official? Now, while that might not surprise you, let's talk about how Sepulveda got here. If we remember back in 2014, Carlos Cascos was appointed as a Secretary of State by our governor, and this gave way for Pete Sepulveda to be the Cameron County judge back in 2014. Well, there was some issues during his tenure, whether that was political or whether he was at fault. He was charged and indicted while he was the sitting or the interim county judge. The charges that he faced at that time were for theft and abuse of power. Now, this was on a road that was paved by the Cameron County employees. Cameron County resources were used, employees were used in paving a street outside of the San Benito area. According to the story, this is something that the residents desperately needed. It was an area that is populated by elderly families. And there was a complaint filed that the county judge at that time, Sepulveda, used his official capacity and abused his position. He was charged with theft and abuse of power. Well, Sepulveda did have a PTD contract, which is pretty much probation, and that if you finish that completely and successfully, the case would be dismissed, which ultimately happened, and Sepulveda did end up getting an expunction on his case. So if you look in his records, this will not be found only of course, in the news media. What is interesting about this is that during his time as being being named as the Cameron County judge, what is interesting to note is that there was one individual on that commission that voted against naming Sepulveda as the interim county judge. As we can see here, the vote was 4-1, with County Commissioner David Garza being the only no vote. Garza felt that Sepulveda cannot comfortably handle all of the administrative jobs before him, and that there may be a conflict of interest. That is the reasoning behind Commissioner Garza's nay vote. Those who voted in favor were County Commissioners Sophie Benavides, Dan Sanchez, Alex Dominguez, and Carlos Casco, who he himself had one vote before he left for his Secretary of State position. Well, what ended up happening on that no vote, again, it's very interesting to note that at one time he did not have confidence in him. Well, what if I told you that this individual's son was awarded a contract of over $16 million? You heard that right. 16 million with an M. And look, I have nothing for individuals who studied. I respect and admire engineers. They are very pivotal in our society. We can all agree to that. What we are questioning is that the son of this commissioner, did he have the proper qualifications to merit this contract? I'll let you decide. Again, Commissioner Garza's office became the pivot point for engineering contracts, it seems, since his son, Anthony, who is a registered agent and sole owner of ROL Consulting and who is an employee of GDI Engineering, doing business as LDG. They have less than 4 years of being in business, being in operations. Their president, this engineering company's president, is a licensed occupational therapist, which, when you really think about it, that's not qualifications from a professional engineering firm that is looking to manage and design large transportation projects within Cameron County. But again, unless you happen to have the right connections to a county commissioner who also happens to be Pete Sepulveda's boss at the time, it might help. It might help. Back in August 2020, if I can share my screen very, very quickly, we see here how back in 2020 there was a board of directors meeting for the Cameron County Regional Mobility Authority back in August 2020. What I want us to focus on is Section G. Section G right here. Consideration and approval of agreement between the Cameron County Regional Mobility Authority and ROL Consulting. This contract was awarded $16 million to a firm that has less than 4 years in operation, a firm whose president is an occupational therapist. Are these the qualifications that we want? And being in charge of large projects that require large amounts of experience, time, knowledge of what they're getting themselves into. Question: if good old Frankie placed his name to get a contract with Cameron County with minimal experience, with having a president that is in the medical field, not even in the engineering field, do you think good old Frankie would receive a contract for $16 million? Again, it is very interesting. We have seen how different individuals throughout the different entities within the city of Brownsville have used their position to enrich themselves. Did the commissioner excuse himself for the vote? That is something that I have not been able to look into. I do need to go back to the minutes to see But what was interesting, Nelda, is that on this memorandum that was provided by Mr. Sepulveda, he is quoted as saying, and I'm sorry, this is a little bit blurry, Nelda. It is a little bit blurry. I do apologize. But in essence, Pete Sepulveda to the Commissioners Court did state that ROL Consulting is the only prospective consultant that possesses, and get this, that possesses the demonstrated competence, knowledge, qualifications to provide the requested services provided by the sole owner, Anthony Garza of ROL Consulting, that he provides these services. Again, we are in favor of businesses getting work. We're all for it. Do they have the qualifications? Do they have the experience? Do they have the proper manpower to be capable of undergoing these tasks? Is Anthony Garza, the son of the commissioner, simply the middleman and contracting out, and they're just keeping a few bucks for his consulting fees? Again, what is going on in Cameron County? This kind of smells a la Jessica Gonzalez, who used her position to benefit her family in getting a loan from the only institution in the city of Brownsville, which is Lone Star National Bank. There is no other bank in the city of Brownsville, only Lone Star, it seems. What is our community going to think about this? And again, this is preliminary. This is something that Juan Montoya has reported. I don't know how the commissioner voted, or if he excused himself, or whether there was a conflict of interest paperwork filed with Cameron County. That is something that I'm still looking into. But as of right now, Nelda, it doesn't look good. What message are we sending? Is this just business in the good old city of Brownsville? I hope not. What about our community? Will we be demanding questions from our elected officials? Will we be asking Daniela Lopez Valdez why she voted to give her father a contract, who sits on the board for Lone Star National Bank? Will our community demand answers from Jessica Gonzalez, who used her position as a BISD board member to obtain a loan for her husband? Will we be asking Commissioner Garza for questions as to why his son got a $16 million contract when average Frankie, with minimal qualifications and experience, wouldn't have gotten the same, wouldn't have gotten the benefit of the doubt? 1.21 gigawatts. Saludos. Back to the future. Saludos, Luis. Good morning. You, sir, I need on. Yes, sir, I need an air taxi. Your destination, flea market, please. We're bound to go that way, Ana. Good morning, Hilda. Have a great day. Are you being sponsored by Stilettos? I wish. See, Dorothy, crime does pay. Sad but true. I'm not shocked that a commissioner's family benefited from the commissioner's term in office. That's politics, unfortunately. Like father, like son. Pura rata familiar. You said it. Did the commissioners excuse himself? No. If a dog catcher can get far in our city, why not a manager? I forgot about that. I believe him in Art Rendon's defense. I believe he's a doctor, if I'm not mistaken. Either he's a physician's assistant or he is some sort of doctor. So in his defense, he does have the qualifications. Does he have the experience? I don't know. But I'll leave for the community side. Guys, thank you so much for your time. It is 7:40 a.m. Please remember, say a prayer. There are 13 families that will be without their loved ones come this holidays. I blame our federal government for not paying attention to detail. Blood, the way Carlos mentioned it, blood is on the hands of President Biden and his administration for his lack of attention to the exit plan that was put in place. Tomorrow is the deadline of the withdrawal. As of right now, I believe there's only 300 Americans that are still left in Afghanistan. So we pray and hope for their safe return home. Papi Musk is providing in more ways than one. Not only will we be the site for space exploration, have human robots, but now Tesla will be providing, or is in the works of providing, retail electricity for Texas residents. Could that be a good thing? Maybe. We've been wanting competition for PUB. We saw how the Texas grid failed us during the winter storm. Maybe Tesla providing electricity is a good thing. Also, air taxis. Is that the new wave? Are we going to be like the actual Jetsons now, where we have talking watches, we have flying cars, we have robots in the city of Brownsville? It seems that way. And 16 million buckaroos. Cameron County judges, the Cameron County commissioner's son awarded a contract, not based on qualifications, but because of, it's like the saying goes, it's not what you know, but who you know, right? Unfortunately. That's the type of behavior by county, city, district, and the like keep happening, and the community doesn't hold them accountable. Who is really to blame? I agree with you. I have previously stated that I do not blame Daniela Lopez Valdez. I do not blame Abraham Golonsky for what they do. I blame the community for allowing them to do so. I blame us, the voters, for allowing them to do so. Again, will our community demand answers from Daniela Lopez Valdez? Probably not. Will they demand answers from Jessica Gonzalez? Probably not. Will they demand why Denise Garza was out advocating for Baltasar Salazar so he could stay on as the attorney for our special needs department and population because he was going to fund her campaign? Will our community ask her about that? Probably not. Will our community ask Commissioner Garza about those 16 million buckaroos that his son got under his watch? Probably not. Politics, ladies and gentlemen. Politics, that's just the way it goes in the city of Brownsville. Guys, have a good Monday. Happy start to the week. Hope to see you guys here on Wednesday. God bless.